Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is Transport Fever 2 Peninsula. Yes, this is a city. This wasn't here before. No, we're going to build it today, and then we're going to hook up this passenger train that will run the length of our first peninsular island. And it's Swedish. Not the island, the train. Though I guess you could call the island Swedish if you wanted to. I mean, it's up to you, I suppose. So we're looking at that which we have looked at many times previously. Well, I say many times, we looked at it twice, and there's a bit more flattening going on here, and you're going, oh yeah, mighty clever of you to flatten this out. Gosh, what a challenge it is you're presenting for yourself with your smoothing gun and your flattening tool and whatever other jiggery-pokery you've got kicking around in your toolbox of wizardry. No, well, look, here's the thing. We're actually going to try and build this one on multiple levels. I say try, we're going to build this one on multiple levels. And the reason for that is we want to keep it visually interesting. So this is New Vegas that we're currently smoothing out the grounds to accomplish. You see that jagged bit there? Yeah, that's because there's a flipping tunnel underneath and the landscape doesn't know what to do with itself. So we'll knock that out in a moment and just tidy it up. We flatten out the area. It's going to be split over, I guess, 3 levels you could call it in total. I mean, it's like 2.5, I suppose. And then plumb in some initial roadage. Because otherwise the AI gets all ahead of itself and goes, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll put this here and that there, and it'll be brilliant, and everything will be lovely, and you'll really appreciate it. And you're going to go, no, mate, you've built this all wrong. You want to do that a little bit better, and you're going to go, oh well, yes, well, and then you bring your bulldozer out and start, making everybody homeless, and they're thrilled, and you're thrilled, and everybody's thrilled. Now, knocking the mountain back here. This bit of mountain that I just knocked back is purely so I can get in a level crossing, which is an unusual piece of technology for this channel. Usually we go with the cheeky underpass or overpass, but no, I'm embracing level crossings because everybody always gripes about the fact that I don't use enough level crossings, and when I do, they look horrendous. So I've decided to build one that doesn't look horrendous. Link the whole thing up with a bit of... See, look at that. Oh, smooth. Multi-layered. Smooth it all out a bit. Because you'd have to be some kind of clown to just build in the mountains, and maybe you are that kind of clown, but I'm not that kind of clown. I've got my own little clown car, I get in it with all my mates, and we go for a... I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we've got to traverse this bit of... That's a nice bridge. Really we're going with this one? Oh, okay. All right, fine. Well, I suppose it looks semi-authentic. I mean, I would be using the Jolly Green, but the Jolly Green in this particular version of the Fever isn't as jolly, or indeed green, as I'd previously encountered. Yeah. Anyway, let's get off the topic of bridges for a moment, because the real benefit you have in placing your cities after placing your road and rail in there is that it will fit around it, you see. So it will build the city up around that which you have. So rather than trying to squeak in a station, or, as is more often the case, bulldozing everything to bang a station right in the centre of town, you can build the centre of town right next to the station and go ha 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 ha, because that's the sound that we make when celebrating this all coming off seamlessly. So we've got a pretty good looking road network here. Some of it needs a little bit more work rebuilding this curve, because evidently I wasn't happy with it the first time. I can't remember why. Oh, it looked a bit wonky. We wanted to look, like someone could conceivably drive around it without throwing themselves off the edge in some kind of, heroic and yet spectacular and something or other. That's it. Yeah, you see, that's better. Yeah, that's a much nicer curve. It's not efficient, but I don't doubt that people, the local populace there, will be more than delighted about getting stuck in. So here's our mainline station. As you can see, I've gone for the top deck for this one, which retrospectively, I'm not sure if I'd do that again, because I've got this idea, and it comes off quite well, of running it along the side of the cliff here. Look, come on, get on with it. The narrative implies that you're going to do this quite quickly. There you go, run it along the side of the cliff, so that you get the magnificent views, and the views should be pretty flipping splendid by the time we're done. It's a little bit wobbly. I'll probably tidy that up. Anyway, yeah, run along the side of the cliff, and then out into the beyond as we head down the peninsula towards Los Santos. Now, here's the thing. is had I built it at the bottom, then we could have quadded up the track and run our passenger line and freight line right alongside each other. But they're at such radically different elevations that you know, we have to do them as two separate entities. Anyway, town is coming up. Now this is actually, I mean, New Vegas is going to be 2 towns, not 1. No, we're going to place 2 when the game figures it out. There, ooh, look at the pop in, marvellous. And I have to say, it went quite a lot further than I'd expected it to. But that's a good thing. Oh yeah, oh no, most definitely. Look at it, look how much it's plumbed in there. It's kind of gone, oh, I see some roads you've got going on. And I go, yeah, I've got some roads going on there. So you've got New Vegas and Lower New Vegas as the 2 towns, and that will create a nice little bit of throughput of traffic between the pair. Look at that. I mean, it goes from a barren wilderness landscape type deal into, oh yeah, people live here and do stuff and things in absolutely no time at all. So this is lower New Vegas. I was going to say Las Vegas, Ramon. It's not Las Vegas at all. And then up top, I think I call it Upper New Vegas. So no, I just call it New Vegas. And then, of course, we need to rename all the stations and all of the gubbins to make sure that the names all match up so that I don't get confused later on, because it's very easy to confuse me. Getting confused is part of the course, really. But we end up with something that looks pretty spectacular. And then we can move our attention on to the next bit. Let's do that now, shall we? Yep. Yeah. No. I think we've seen all we need to see here. Now, what I haven't paid attention to, of course, is exactly which goods they want. So I'm just going to have to figure that out later on. That's a nod towards what we in the trade call gameplay. Right. Moving on to Los Santos. Now, what we've got here already is a steel mill, and I think actually I'm adding another one in. Because we want to ensure that we get a maximum throughput of the aggregates coming in, the minables, the consumed mining whatnots, something. Right, yeah. We want to make sure we've got plenty of that happening, and that will guarantee that the mines are always working at top whack, even if we're not outputting as much steel as one might otherwise hope. Anyway, the position of the passenger platform there, passenger station, was such that it will allow me to head down to our 3rd city, which is Atlantis. Not the original Atlantis, of course, because that one's slightly more damp. No, this is a brand new formation of Atlantis. Now, one of the problems that I've got here is that it's very obvious that this has all been smoothed out, and so once the cities are plumbed in, I'll turn my attention to making them look a little bit more, I don't know, I would say realistic, but a little bit more like they've evolved over time rather than being placed 20 minutes ago. That way, it should just look good. That's the theory. A bit more scenery and a little bit more attention paid to the texturing and how the mountain formations blend in with the town stuff that you've got going on, and it should come up nicely. So once again, here with Los Santos, got to put the roads in. I'm going to put a port here as well. The intention is that all the goods we need for this island come in via port, and because that will keep my freight business merrily ticking along merrily. And yeah, I'm going to build some kind of whacking great port edifice using every mod in the flipping book in order to try and get that to work. And square this off a bit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, yeah, about there. No, change my mind. No, just cut some more edges off that. There, see, look, how's that? Oh yeah, now you're talking. Right, okay, so we got this bad boy in. I'm going to wang some cranes on here because who doesn't love a wanging crane? Sadly, the cranes in question don't have any functionality attached to them, but it doesn't matter. They look good. Yeah. No, that's all you need to know. They look good, and therefore they are good. So a bit of ruddy, great shipping to move stuff around. That'll be absolutely splendid. The goal that I've got when I actually turn my attention to ships is that they're not forever kind of running it. Look at that. I don't know what I want that for, but I want it for something. Maybe later. Do you know what this needs? Yeah. Big lamp posts, probably some more cranes. maybe some more lamp posts. There's a lot. We tread very carefully on the toes of a bit of high detailing there, and we don't want to get too heavily immersed in that kind of behaviour. Once you start going down that rabbit hole, you could lose yourself forever and never re-emerge into any kind of free-flowing narrative gameplay. No, that's just going to be a disaster for all of it. Yeah, bang another crane in, mate. Oh, look at that. He's even lining it up. Oh, what a solid amount of effort applied there. 4 ought to do it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you've got 4 cranes, might as well add another couple, just to, make it feel complete. Yeah, bung some of these sheds on the side. Here's the thing, mod makers of the world unite. Everybody needs rail stations and ports and airports and all of that kind of gubbins, and there's precious little decorative paraphernalia on that there Steam Workshop that you can go and plumb into it. Make some more, particularly ports. Don't be ashamed, don't be afraid. Go out and, stretch your agenda a little bit and put out some more port action stuff. I'd like some speedboats. I want a jet ski or 3. I can have them all larking about in some kind of marina. Oil rig. Build an oil rig that actually generates oil. And then, tenders and tankers and, pipelines and all of that kind of you could create a whole section of new gameplay. Get yourself the 5 stars there on the Steam Workshop as people go, oh, this is indispensable. It's like you've added an expansion to the game. You're amazing. I think you're brilliant, and that's the kind of comments you'll have, as well as several people going, doesn't work. Kind of go, oh, you've got to enable it in the save game, but they kind of go, how do you do that? Kind of go, this is the first mod you've picked up, and you've never used one before, so you don't know how. Anyway, I'm building up the passenger station, and we're going to try and make this one look a little bit glam by giving it a ruddy ton of buildings going on there. Okay, 6 buildings going on there. Roads down the side, obviously, and then we're about ready to pop the old town in. But it occurred to me before popping the town in that actually a smart course of action here is to get the track in first. Otherwise, the Miggins household will suffer yet another casualty as you get shot at them in order to fuel look at this. Look, that's what I've built. That's it's great. Once in a while, when I'm doing a traditional playthrough of this, you build something, you kind of go, oh yes. And while there will still be, I don't doubt, some areas of shonkiness in this playthrough, there will also be a much higher hit rate when it comes to, you built something grand there, Gov. Loving your work. That's my nod towards a bit of Jolly Green going on there. It's just not jolly enough. I want something that looks like it was, put together using Scotsman, and that they were, gruff, and consuming an absolute ton of iron brew while making it. Now that level crossing, yeah, see how that looks nice and flat? It's not flat at all. No, the AI moves in a minute and it makes it not flat. And I was recording my my bit of playthrough action that you'll get to in a mere moment, or maybe a couple of mere moments, and I went, no, that's not acceptable. We have violated one of the golden rules. Right, city time. Los Santos. Make the magic happen. There you go. Splendid. Now, obviously, this is going to be a smog-ridden hellhole, but I think people who live there will live there. It needs a couple more interior roads going on in order to kind of set that up in a way that makes it look viable, and also to give them a little bit more building, housing, spacing, all of that to expand into. So this is the kind of stuff that I should be doing when I'm doing my decorative periods of decoration. Decoration? Sure, it's a word. Could be, just laying out the streets a little bit better to enable the town to flourish. Now we smooth out some of the wonky angles that have been built, thanks their city planners. You've made my naturalistic looking cliffsides look not naturalistic anymore. Well, someone likes you, but it ain't me. Right, and then we've got to turn our attention down to the newfangled area of Atlantis, but we'll build the passenger rail in first, and then that's done effectively using the same tunnel set up in pretty much each direction, using the same bridge design in each section as well. It's the white pillars, you know. What we want is that nice red girder bridge that was added in a recent patch, maybe without the suspension paraphernalia going on. I think the suspension paraphernalia is maybe a little bit overkill. Looks fine, but it can be a little bit overkill-esque. There you go. See, look, there's two sets of lines there that could have been snapped together and looking amazing and all of that kind of business. Once again, bit of roads, get the track in ahead of time, probably putting a level crossing up there. Oh, okay, just bang it straight in, Gov. It's all good. And then you've got another nice looking town. Now, I've made all of these pretty sizable. I want them to grow to a healthy size. Not because I'm trying to cheese the gameplay in the slightest, but I want it to look good. We might maybe I should think about, slamming in some smaller ones here and there, hither and yon. Anyway, as a rare treat, how about we cut to some stuff happening in real time, where you can enjoy all of. So here we go, riding on board the brand new commissioned Peninsula mainline passenger train. Runs the entire length of the route, going down from New Vegas down to Los Santos, and then heading towards Atlantis, and then it turns around and comes back again. Now, Atlantis will eventually expand onto the main line, which will be a delight for everyone to see. But I thought you'd quite like a little ride along here, because coming up in a moment we get the view of New Vegas as we come in, and I'll tell you, it's quite a view. Oh yeah, all right. I rode this already, and it's great. I wouldn't make you ride something that wasn't great. Look at this, a non-lumpy level crossing. Okay, it's a little tiny bit of a bump, but there's the view of that's Lower New Vegas going on there. I built two cities on top of each other, effectively, in order to make the place look busy and to fill in the gaps and so on. Here you go. There's bit of windy old track. Oh, that's tasteful. No, we'll see it again in a moment. Hold on. Here you go. And there she blows. So we get to look out over the freight yard as we come into the station. I tell you, people will come from far and wide to ride on this, just so they can go, Ruddy Nora. There's quite a lot of business going on there. And you'd be right. There is a lot of business going on there. Now, of course, introducing the AI and its building whims to the situation has kind of led to a scenario where all of my beautiful cliffsides have been completely ruined. That's okay. It's nothing that a smoothing gun and a bit of judicious application of the tree cannon we can fix that. There we go. We'll pile off. Thank you. Now, I thought we'd do a second ride along here. Well, I brought you up to speed. We'll jump on board the Commuter bus service. Now, I've only built commuters here at Vegas. I haven't yet done them elsewhere. I thought, that would be my token nod towards, and here's some live gameplay. Yeah, I know, just, small, I'm keeping you hungry, people. That's what it is, keeping you guessing. Anyway, we're on board this nice Russian number. Look at it, dead dinky, but what I liked about it is that it's got sunshine. What's she up to? It's got Sunshine Fun Bus action windows at the top, so you get there's plenty of chairs. You can sit in one if you want. All right. Well, okay. She's clearly not into it. It's what? Yes, isn't it? Yes, it is. Anyway, I've got 13 of these to transport people around the New Vegas megaplex, because New Vegas goes on and on and on. There's tons of it. There's a lot of New Vegas for one to appreciate. I also had to set the year to 2200 because, despite the fact that the Swedish trains that I'm using on the mainline, I'll show you one in all its glory in a moment. Despite the fact that they came into service allegedly in the 70s, late 60s actually, they didn't appear to be available until I set the year beyond 2100. So that's just a bit of mod misconfiguration going on there. That's okay. That's all right. It happens. It works. I mean, you've just got to set the year to something appropriate, and that's the glorious thing about Transport Fever 2 is you can bang the year to whatever you like and ride it, or some such. Right, yeah. I was hoping for a bit of a view there, but all we're seeing is these brick edifices. So the one thing that I haven't done yet is I haven't played with the tree cannon. I've done it on some of the older built bits and pieces in order to spice that up some. This is just making you giddy, isn't it? Yeah, all right, okay, I'll face forwards. But I haven't used it to kind of fill in gaps and otherwise make the place look a little bit more enticing. Now, I don't want to go overboard with it, because obviously every time you bung in a tree, you increase the amount of strain and exertion that your graphical processing system has to go through. But that's okay. I'm going to keep them quite few and far between, but make them count where I need them to count. Trust me, I've got a plan. It's going to be fine. Yeah, now, for the most part, all of the build that I've done has been pretty tidy. There are some slopes that are steeper than I'd like. This one, for example. Yeah, it was... I put that one right at the edge of plausible. But look, here's where you can tell that the AI's been at work. I mean, look at that. That cliff was flipping beautiful before the AI got to it. Hello. You wait for one bus to cut. No, that is the bus I'm riding on. I'm just attached to a large pole poking out the front of it. No, that's okay. Yeah, it's relatively straightforward. No, it's all good. To be honest, I'm just quite enjoying the ride. You know, there's lots to see. There's plenty of it. It's all new. You're looking at this kind of going, what the heck's going on here? This doesn't look like anything that we had You just saw me building it. You saw me plunk in the cities, and the cities go, all right, oh, you've made me lots of nice ground to expand into. And so they expanded into it nicely. Groundwood. But this is quite a lengthy commuter route that we've got going on here. But they, as ever, they only ever want to go in one direction. They all want to head towards the station. Well, that's okay too. But as the popularity of the station increases, we'll find more people actually want to go and get to New Vegas, lower Vegas, lower New Vegas, the new lower Vegas that is lower, but still new. Yes, that's where they'll want to go. Let's get off here. It's going to take us forever to get anywhere. And chances are we were almost at our destination, but no, we were just coming up on the good view. We'll jump back on then. Don't gripe about it. Just soak in the new view as we go past. Let's get the front of the bus out of my shot, because this is good action camera shot. Oh yes. Oh, this was totally worth the effort. I mean, who doesn't want a house that backs onto a 24-hour-a-day aggregate flipping shipping yardage business going on there? There's the iron coming down from up above. Plenty of coal queuing up. The other thing I've noticed is that having stuck a second steel mill in, the amount of throughput I'm getting from my mines has upped significantly. Now that's a little odd, because I thought they were already maxed out. They weren't maxed out, but they're getting that way now. So I've been able to double the number of trains carrying aggregates out to yonder steel mill, which is yonder. Yeah, no, it's great. So here's the bus station at the end of the line. I could if I could slot in another little road or two here, we might get a couple more buildings. This one is a little desolate in its placement, but it's okay. Hey, look at all the business. Lots of business going on there. As before, I've been decorating just enough to spruce it up. High detail, not so much. Moderate detail, I think we'll call it. Just enough so it doesn't look like it's bare bones, and that there's been no impact on the landscape of having relatively moderate industry kind of deployed upon it. So it looks quite good. So here we go. There you go. That's the New Vegas mega city going on there. It's good. I like it. Now, the only downside is that because I haven't got many towns on this particular peninsula, you're somewhat limited when it comes to the amount of passenger trains that you can fling around the joint. So that will be rectified in the future, because this main line here is going to be relatively empty. Now, as we come around to the steel mills, I've got two of them now. Look at them. Look, you want it. Look at this. prime location for a residential building there. Now, I've not done any texturing or that kind of behaviour yet. The coastline leaves quite a lot to be desired. I don't know if you can make it out on the speedy section, but I try to get this to smooth off, and it's because the game works on a square grid, that it just makes it very difficult to get the edges if you're not on the square. In fact, look, I'll bring up the square so you can see for yourself. So that is the square edges. Yeah, no, see, so when I smooth off along here, it's going to be all jagged along there. Where you want is you want your flat stuff to be against one of the square edges there. But just, you know, what are you going to do? I've got a port stuck in. I'm not entirely sold on the decoration I've built up. I might do a little bit more overlaying of this tarmac kind of idea. But once it's in use, we'll see where the cargo stacks up. So the cranes are temporary for now, because I don't know how it's going to look once we've got cargo piling. Once we start shipping, and obviously this is going to be steel on the way out, and then something else on the way back in. Could be, I don't know. You know, we'll figure it out as we go. Then you come into Los Santos Main here. You've got the freight station down below, and then you've got the passenger station up top here. Whole thing needs hooking up with a commuter line in order to get the passengers rolling a little bit more. And have we got a... Yeah, no, we've not. That was a shadow. Okay, I thought we might have a train for a moment. Yeah, you've probably got a goods train coming on. Coming on. Yeah, there's definitely... Oh no, there's one coming on now. Here we go. Let's try and get ourselves a respectable shots. So we've got Swedish. Oh yeah, it's all Swedish. We got several different Swedish designs going on, but these are all Swede all the time. I thought, hey, I haven't done a bit of Swedish, so I'll do a bit of Swedish. Yeah, so a bit of Swedish has been done. So more decoration required here. In order to, in order to sell its authenticity, apart from anything else. Bit of tidy up, maybe some new junctions roundabout, that kind of business, all that kind of stuff. I've got the bus stop in already, which thinks it's in New Vegas. It's not in New Vegas. This is Los Santos. The Santolinos are going to be Los Santos. Yes, thank you. They're going to be most disagreeable if I accuse them of being from New Vegas. There is a fierce rivalry betwixt the two. Yeah, there you go. Bargain. Yeah, look at this. This has got all kinds of paraphernalia going on it. Ah, terrific. No, it's good. No. This is all good. There's all kinds of Swedish business going on there. I'm sure it's authentic. Now, as you will undoubtedly notice in mere moments, I've got a loco at either end, because you don't get to pick and choose which trains back up on themselves and which would quite happily flip. So you don't want a loco pushing your train from the rear unless there's some kind of control car at the other end, and there aren't that many control car mods that I've actually come across. I'm sure when I get to America there'll be plenty, but for the moment not so much. So here we are down in Atlantis. I say down, I mean Atlantis is the real one, is just a little bit lower, given it's at the bottom of the ocean these days. And Atlantis being the end of the line as far as this peninsula is concerned. No goods going on here, although later on it will of course have its own demands and so forth. So I do have, I've got a bit of smoothing work to do. Give me a brush that is convincing. There you go. See, look, just take the rough edges off. Yeah, we'll do a bit of that. I might go to the asset thing, plunk in a couple of car parks. Ooh, special. And maybe the occasional extra building going on there. Sort these cliff edges out. Look at it. Look at all this jagged business. You have to do quite a lot before the jagged business disappears. I seem to recall a happy episode spent early on in my Transport Fever 2 life where I tried to get an island to look good, and it ended up taking me 3/4 of an hour to make it look bad. So yeah, some more work needed there to sell it, and I've already built the kind of expansion bridge. Now originally I was thinking, passenger ferry, something like that would do the job, but then I went, it's only a hop, skip and a jump over to the mainland. So next episode is going to tackle the mainland. I know. You didn't think that was going to happen, but only in a very short extent. So I'll tackle the mainland by having one city placed here. I don't even know which city it is actually resides on that bit. I have to refer back to the old save game and go, oh, goodness me, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know which city lives there. So whichever city it is lives there. You know, if I soften these cliff edges up, it won't look so quite obvious that I've carved away at it. Same kind of deal over here, and that's the final stage of getting these things kind of prepped. By the time you turn your attention to the New Vegas end, look at it, fan-ruddy-tastic. Look, you might feel different, but I think this looks absolutely belting. So there you go. That's it. Right, Island 1, bit of decoration, job done. Yeah, sweet. I'll be back pretty soon with the next one. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll probably switch, actually, in the next one to doing the full thing live, because I'm not trying to accomplish quite as much. So we'll do it live, and we'll do a bit of look around. I'll pre-record some glamour shots. Who doesn't like a glamour look? It's sad. It makes it all much more worthwhile when your model train set looks authentic. You know, when you've been down the hobby shop and bought a bunch of scatter, which is basically just small pebbles and sand that you've chucked around the joint. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. There you go. Well, we're charging through this at quite a breakneck pace, and I quite like that kind of speed of progress from video to video because it's different, you know. Historically, I've kind of meandered my way through things and got to the point eventually. But this time, we not only get to the point, we go past it, make another point, and then develop a third point as well, just for the sake of it. So this is how the island format's going to be: is that the three separate peninsulae will do a kind of a 3-4 episode job to kind of polish that up. Anyway, the next one. This is the idea, see? 3 episodes building up the island, and then the 4th is that island's primary connection over onto the mainland. And then we should have, 2-3 sizable cities on the mainland already that we can then work on as we do, half a dozen tops episodes over on the mainland. It's a cunning wheeze. All done, dusted, 20 episodes. Do a nice big fat live stream at the end of it where we can go check stuff out. I think it's got merit. Well, it has got merit. I don't care whether you think it's got merit or not. Merit is what it has in spades. Yes. Good. Anyway, tune in next week for the next one, and I'll enjoy waiting for you to turn up. Good. All right. Off your trots. Go and be productive, or don't. I mean, it's not up to me. That's entirely on you. Just stroll on. All right, good. I'm done. There you are. And